So as you can tell from some of our videos, we have been using Hennessy hammocks now for quite some time. I think since 2013 I've been using them. So at least 6 years on every trip I've done. So we've taken them to Algonquin, we've taken them now to Wabakimi. There's really never been a time that I haven't been able to deploy it properly. And we've been on some sites that you really couldn't set a tent up on. So big fan of Hennessy hammock. Easy to set up. I would recommend the snake skins. Once I set mine or roll mine up right now, I'll show you how easy that is. They're just a great sleep system. So this hammock you're looking at right here, this is the Expedition with the regular fly. And I'd like to compare it today to the Explorer version with the hex fly. So we'll get into what the difference of the different flies are. But first I'm going to open it up and let you see the features of both. Very similar. Basically it just comes down to size of the occupant, weight of the occupant. So it has a slightly different footprint. So here's the Expedition with the tarp pulled back. I believe the weight maximum on a hammock like this is 250 pounds. Probably someone up to 5'10", 6 foot. The only difference between this model and the other model over here, the Explorer, is basically just the length of them, I believe. So from the ridge point to the ridge point, slightly larger on the other model, as you'll see in here in a second. And that just allows larger occupants for the Explorer model. So here's the equivalent. And as you can see, it's just slightly longer from ridge point to ridge point. But everything else is very similar. I think the weight capacity of this is 300 or 315 or something like that. I'll put it in the description. I'm a bit larger individual than my buddy Ryan, so I went with the Explorer. So all Hennessy hammocks come with a built-in bug net. Very similar on both models. They have the nice zipper system, pulls on both sides, which is nice. They don't jam on anything, really. I've never had a problem. So once you open up the hammock, you'll see the bug net is hung on a interior ridge line, which is nice. Keeps the bug net up and off yourself. And on that ridge line, they have a built-in mesh pocket. Well, it's two pockets. A small pocket fits your headlamp. And this pocket here, it's large enough I fit my journal, books, anything in there. So that just slides around in there. And they've also integrated 2 interior clips for additional storage. So one of the nice features of a Hennessy hammock is this bungee cord, elastic cord, that runs from the side of the hammock and it runs out to your tarp. So Ryan's got his disconnected currently. On mine, you can see the same cord runs to the edge of the tarp. And what this does is when you have the tarp fully deployed, it pulls the side of the hammock out to match how far you've pulled out the tarp. And it just opens up the hammock while you're sleeping in it. Makes it feel a little more roomy, so it doesn't completely cocoon you while you're in there. If you stake out your tarp quite far, your hammock's going to get even more roomy than staking it out close by. So the interior of both hammocks are identical. Like I said, one is just slightly larger than the other. But this is Ryan's sleep system he's got going on. And as you can see, he's got it kitty cornered from one side across the hammock to the other. And once you lay on this, you basically lay completely flat with a little bit of overhang on each side. I don't really use this feature. I don't quite know why they did it. I think it's to hold your sleeping pad, but inside the hammock there's another elastic band, shock cord. So basically the design of this is to run from one side of the hammock to the other and connect to this ring here. I believe it's there to keep your sleeping pad from moving around, but all it ends up doing is like pulling in the side of the hammock. So you have this shock cord holding it out, and then when you lay in it, the interior shock cord pulls it in, and I don't quite like that. I don't like how it wraps around your body. Just feels a little more claustrophobic. So we leave them unconnected inside, and as you can see, like once you get in there, it ends up becoming quite wide, quite roomy inside. So this is the standard model of fly that comes on a Hennessy hammock. I believe they change dimensions slightly depending on the size of the model you have, but the design is basically the same. So as you can see, it's asymmetrical. So this side here dips down farther to the right, and then on the far side, you should be able to see it here, it has the exact same pattern but in reverse. So it dips down farther to the left. So essentially, when you're sleeping in your hammock, I would recommend sleeping kitty cornered in the hammock with like your feet towards this tarp and your head towards that one, and you'll get a nice level sleep, very comfortable, and you're basically sleeping underneath the design of the tarp. So this is the Hennessy Hammock hex fly. So it's similar in the way that it attaches to your hammock. There's a ring with a Prusik knot, but basically this has a hexagonal shape, so it has two tie down points and just offers a little more coverage from the rain. So this side here is obviously symmetrical with the other side over here. The only downside of a tarp like this, as you can see here, is it takes up a lot of space. So sometimes it can be hard to find 4 different tie downs. That side was fine. This side I have it staked out down here, but over there I kind of ran into a little bit of an issue with a tree, so I just tied it off to the tree, and it makes it a little more difficult to set up. You just need a heck of a lot more space than the regular fly. Like all Hennessy hammock flies, they connect from the fly to a ring, to a clip, to a piece of cordage. Once you move the snake skins here, you'll see that this cordage runs underneath the snake skin and attaches to the ridge line with a Prusik knot. So this makes tightening and loosening the fly very easy, as you can see. Another nice feature of the hex fly, because there are 4 tie downs, there's quite a bit of cordage that comes with those tie downs. So what they've done, and I quite like this, so this is the top of the tarp with the ring running the cordage out to your stake. If you flip this over, there's actually a pocket right here that allows you to put all the cordage away. This is the same corner of the tarp with all of the cordage tucked away into the nice little pocket. You can see it's very easy to use. Okay, so for the first thing, when you're folding up the Hennessy hammock, on this hex fly, I've tucked away one side of the strings, and then I'm using the other side of the strings to roll up the hammock to keep it tight before I apply the snake skins. So to do that, you're just taking the fly with the string attached, tuck all the loose bits, maybe make sure your hammock is zipped up, and then just start wrapping it around itself using the cordage to keep everything tight. Once you get to this point, you can see it's still fairly loose. So this is where I'll just take the extra cordage I have and start wrapping it as tight as I need to. Once you get to this point, you're ready to put the snake skins on. So I just make sure that my snakeskin is still attached to my clip up here, so it doesn't pull past the knots. Just got to deal with the extra rope. Stuff that into the snakeskin. See how it comes unclipped? You don't want that. So just make sure it securely clips to your tarp clip. Which can be tricky. And then pull your snakeskins over top of all the hammock. Okay, so now that you have the snakeskins on both sides, this is just a little trick I use, because basically the zipper to get in and out of the hammock is only on one side. So I know on this side of the hammock is where the zipper is, and what I want to do is basically once you get it in the snakeskins, you can't tell one side from the other, and it's possible you find some trees and there's only one side you want the door. It can be annoying to have to reset it up. So basically, if I'm standing on the side with the zipper, I will overlap the snakeskins with the largest piece on the right. So I'll pull the leftmost skin down, and then as you can see there's a whole bunch of extra. So I'm going to be pulling the rightmost one over top, so when I deploy it, or when I'm about to deploy it, I can stand on this side, the rightmost, this side will be the zipper. So once you have everything packed away in your snakeskin, this is the exact same for both models basically, but for the Explorer you're just going to have a bigger coil at this point. So the easiest way to pack them away, fold it in half, fold it in half again, and then fold it in half a third time, and you get a package approximately the same size as your bag. And then you just take your strings, and I typically wrap one end of the package. This is the end that the bag's going to go in, and then these loose bits you can stuff into the top of the bag. You're basically going to get to this point, and then these bits you should be able to just stuff down into the extra space in the bag. Like so. The only thing you'll have left are your tree huggers. They should just go right into the top of the bag. And then the trickiest part with the hex fly is there's 4 tie down points. So now you have 4 pegs that you need to somehow fit into the bag, which eventually you can find a space down the side of it that won't stick into the tarp, and just place all your pegs into the bag.